This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
Right now on RTV6, we want to make sure you have everything you need to navigate your afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrick, and I've got Storm Team 6's Todd Clausen here for what you need to know about your forecast today. We had some rainfall earlier. Are we going to see any more for the rest of the day?
You know, it is raining in some spots right now down to the south. When you view that downtown to the north there, it was a beautiful afternoon. But here's a live look at Storm Team 6 radar. And we are expecting just these isolated downpours at times this afternoon. And the best chance of seeing these downpours will be to the south, where they're happening right now, and then eventually east of Indianapolis. Northern locations, you're probably just fine. But look at this heavy rainfall from Nineveh back down towards northern portions of Brown County, in and around the Edinburgh area, north of Taylorsville. Some very heavy rainfall. No lightning here. This is just a plain old downpour. And then as you work your way just to the east of Clifford here over towards Hope, Indiana, there's a downpour. And then there's a few more crossing over Lake Monroe in southern Monroe County, south of Bloomington here. Again, no lightning. This is just some rain. Not expecting any severe weather here throughout the day today. But it's these locations from Richmond to Bloomington, south and east, that'll have the best chance. The reason why, just a little closer to that stalled front that is off to our east now. The view to the north shows just partly cloudy skies. Temperatures right now are in the upper 70s to low 80s, depending on where you are. A little bit of humidity still out there. And as the day goes on, we'll maintain that spot storm threat in eastern and southern locations. As soon as the sun starts to set, though, any showers come out of the forecast. That's great news for your evening plans tonight. And then by tomorrow morning, low humidity and temperatures in the 50s for some of you. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers series aims to connect you to employment opportunities. We also want to expose barriers employees may face and provide solutions. All new at noon, RTV6's Amanda Starantino shows us how IU Health is attempting to bridge the work-life balance gap with their housekeeping employees by providing a new resource.
Ziamara Maya is celebrating a big promotion at work. She is now the team lead for IU Health's Emergency Department Environmental Services staff. And Ziamara loves her housekeeping job at the hospital.
My reward is when the patients come into the rooms and they can see everyone clean and they feel comfortable. I love it.
The 51-year-old Beech Grove resident started working here in 2011.
This job is very interesting. I feel passion to work here in my job. I love what to do. And I think that I never changed the way I clean. I just clean since the first day until right now.
IU Health Methodist and University hospitals employ about 300 housekeepers. Right now, they need to fill more than 40 positions just at those hospitals.
They're our first line of defense for infection control here at the organization. And then they're also a big provider of customer service because they're in the rooms with the patients.
IU Health has hired their first social worker for downtown hospitals housekeeping and environmental services staff. Now, this is to specifically help those employees with daily life barriers that can impact their work.
To help our team members with work-life balance, child care, family care, because sometimes it's your parents, transportation issues, financial issues that you have, as well as, and most importantly, is the career development.
If they see success with this pilot social worker, IU Health plans to add more social workers to not only the housekeeping staff, but also more hospitals and departments across the state. Ziamara, now taking on a new role in her department, is open to the opportunity to have the guidance and the transition.
I'm always up for advice. I'm never moved for emotions. When I do one step, I want to be sure that the step that I'm gonna do is gonna be the best. So I'm asking and I'm looking for information.
And while she takes pride in the way she leaves a room, Ziamara takes pride in the way she also leaves the patients.
I like it because I'm a Christian person and I try to give some hope to the sick people. My successful in this job is leave all my problems out from the hospital and enjoy when I come in.
No previous training or credentials are required to apply for a housekeeping position at IU Health. Once hired, the hospital will provide the training needed. There are full-time and part-time positions available, as well as supplemental position and hours for people who are working a second job. For more information on how to apply, you can head to hiringhoosiers.com. New at noon, a town council member is now facing a charge of disorderly conduct after a scuffle outside a town meeting back in January. The Johnson County Prosecutor's Office says 60-year-old David Moore had a conflict with a fellow Trafalgar town council member at that meeting. And afterward, officers witnessed Moore grabbing the fellow member by his collar and shoving him against a wall. Moore later lost his seat on the council in May and will no longer be a member after December 31st. It is back to school for many children in central Indiana, including Beech Grove City Schools. The district is still making repairs after a tornado hit the school on June 15th, the high school that is. Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny has been looking into the changes that the district is making as a result.
This is video of a tornado slamming into Beech Grove High School on June 15th. The Indiana Department of Homeland Security says Indiana is at high risk for tornadoes, which means you could see even more schools hit by twisters. Beech Grove High School sustained millions of dollars worth of damage when a tornado hit the school on June 15th, ripping off the steel roof like a sardine can.
It actually lifted the steel structures off the ground.
Dr. Paul Kaiser is the superintendent of Beech Grove City Schools. Kaiser is thankful the tornado hit on a Saturday and in the summer when school was not in session.
The biggest thing, no one was injured.
A close call for a building with 900 students.
How many times have you thought about what would have happened if the students were here?
Well, many times.
Kaiser walked us through some of the 25 classrooms that were damaged.
This is one of our chemistry rooms in our Science Academy here at Beech Grove High School.
Most of the damaged classrooms will be fixed and ready to go when students return back to school July 31st, but some still need repairs.
All the walls in here need to come down because they've been saturated.
If the students were in the building when the tornado hit, they would have gathered in an interior hallway like they do for tornado drills.
This is a hallway where our students would be if we had a tornado wall.
So they would crouch down along the sides here?
Absolutely. You have block walls on each side.
Like most school districts in Indiana, Beech Grove does not have a tornado shelter or a safe room. They're not required by Indiana law.
From a safety standpoint, I would love to have a place to put 900 kids in a shelter. We don't have that available here in this school district.
Call 6 Investigates found federal funds are available to build tornado shelters in Indiana schools, something Dr. Kaiser says they're now considering for a future early learning center.
I think this was a good wake-up call for everybody involved to make sure that we cross our T's and dot our I's on the school safety aspect of a tornado.
There's only one school in the district that has access to a basement. Hornet Park Elementary can use the nearby community center basement with enough space for all 400 kids at the school. Tonight on the news at 6, we talked to the Department of Homeland Security about where Indiana falls when it comes to tornado risk and what that means for your safety. Plus, tonight on the news at 11, big bucks are available to Indiana schools, but many are not going after it. Tonight on the news at 11, we find out why. Working for you, I'm Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny.
Every year it sneaks up on you, but it is time to get the kids back to school. Working for you, RTV6 talked to state police about some takeaways so we can all be safe with kids out on the streets and sidewalks. Above all, don't rush yourself. Keep a heightened watch out for school buses putting their stop arms out when they pick up or drop off students. If you don't stop, it is against the law. Not only you could be fined, you could go to jail. State police say keep an eye out for school zone signals as well and get to 25 miles per hour or slower. Never pass another car in a school zone. This may not seem obvious, but cars ahead of you are stopped for a reason. Usually kids are crossing the street. And watch for those crossing guards who will get students across. Police also want to remind you that even when you're in your car and you're in a complete stop, put your cell phone down. There are kids out there who may not be paying attention either, so it's up to us, the adults, to be on guard. We've got a full look at back-to-school safety right now on the RTV6 app. The Indiana State Fair starts its 17-day run on Friday, which also happens to be RTV6 Day at the fair. We'll be broadcasting live from the fair throughout the day, starting with Good Morning Indiana. We'll bring you the sights and sounds of opening day in real time, which includes Band Day. Join us for all that fun on Friday. The conflict is getting so strong, the city had to cancel its farmers market. The controversy down in this college town and why people are protesting a specific farming business for its actions. That is coming up in just a minute. We have the wrong graphic here. Then a little later, it is one of the largest data hacks of all time, how one hacker gained access to more than 100 million users' information. That's coming up. Todd.
And as we work our way throughout the afternoon hours, we'll be on the lookout for a few isolated storms to flare up across parts of central Indiana. In fact, some have already. The best chance of those storms to the south and to the east. We'll detail today and the rest of the week coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. You're watching the RTV6 News at Noon.
Now the event continues tonight on ABC.
This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
Right now, a battle over racism is playing out at the farmers market in Bloomington. The weekend staple in the college town is shutting down for the next 2 weeks. This after protests over the owners of a farm that sells at the market. This month, a report in the Daily Beast showed Sarah Dye, one of the owners of Schooner Creek Farms, was posting in online chat rooms of white supremacy group Identity Europa. The Daily Beast obtained leaked chat logs outing Dye and Schooner Creek co-owner Douglas Mackey as members of the group. Protesters are urging people to not support their business. They have also tried to get the city of Bloomington to remove the farm from the market. So far, the city has refused, citing First Amendment grounds. Now, Bloomington Mayor John Hamilton says the farmers market will be shut down for the next 2 weeks. He says it's because police identified increasing threats to public safety. So far, the owners of Schooner Creek Farms have refused to speak to reporters since the chat room posts became public. And there was a lot to unpack with this issue, so we have all the deeper details online right now. Our digital reporter Shakira Harris has a closer look at what's happening in Bloomington. You can read that now on the RTV6 app and the IndyChannel.com. Coming up, this gun owner admits he didn't have a close eye on his firearms, but did his friend really steal one to shoot his family? The latest developments in this trial next on Court TV. And it is a beautiful day in the Circle City, but some of you to our south are seeing some rainfall. Storm Team 6 meteorologist Todd Clausen will let us know if anyone else will be in the way of the rain. You're watching the news at noon on RTV6. Stay tuned for that forecast next.
Personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
It is one of the biggest data breaches of all time. Capital One says a hacker gained access to more than 100 million customer accounts and credit card applications earlier this year. The company claims no credit card account numbers or login credentials were compromised. Capital One says it fixed the vulnerability exploited in the breach. The company also says it's unlikely the data was used for fraud, but it is still investigating. It will also notify you if you are impacted by the breach and provide free credit monitoring and identity protection. We're going to take a look now at the weather. A beautiful day. This is a shot from our Salesforce camera. Todd, some people, though, unfortunately have a bit of a different view right now.
Yeah, you know, there are some downpours out there, and if you are seeing one of these downpours, it's not severe, and they won't last very long.
Good. So
it's not going to ruin your entire afternoon or evening. So let me start you with Storm Team 6 radar, and we'll go down into locations where these storms are flaring up, and one of which is just south of Bloomington here, just past the Bloomington Speedway, and now northern portions of Lake Monroe. Some showers down on the southern portion of the lake there, and as we slide off towards the east a little bit, heavy rain in Nineveh over towards Edinburgh, down towards Taylorsville, but no lightning within these storms, and we're not expecting any severe weather here throughout the day today. These are just basically some rainmakers. They flare up, put down the heavy downpour, and then they kind of just move on out of the way throughout the afternoon hours. And the best chance of seeing these will be some basically from Richmond, I think, towards Bloomington. So where they're flaring up now, that's where you'll have the best potential to see some additional isolated downpours off and on throughout the day. I think from Indianapolis to the north, we're pretty much okay. Can't completely rule out the chance of a quick downpour or two flaring up, but by far the better chances will be to the south and east, a little closer to this very slow-moving front. That's the same front that went through yesterday afternoon and into the evening hours, giving us that heavy rain, so it hasn't really moved too far off to the east. 80 degrees right now. The wind is calm. The dew point's still at 68, so that's kind of a little uncomfortable. But here's the good news. The dew point will continue to drop throughout the afternoon and end into the evening hours. And by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, 57 will be your dew point temperature. That is very, very comfortable. And as a result, you could probably open the windows tonight, give the air conditioner a little bit of a break. Highs today will be in the mid-80s across the area. Here are those isolated storm chances. They all fade away with sunset. That's the good news. A lot of outdoor activities this evening. We have concert at White River. We have the Indians game, so they should be rain-free with temperatures falling into the 70s. And again, getting more and more comfortable as the evening wears on. Tomorrow morning, look at this, to the north, 50s, 60s to the south, but still very comfortable for everything. And then tomorrow, we start a beautiful stretch of weather, lots of sunshine. Look at the temperature tomorrow into the low 80s. The humidity is low tomorrow. It is going to be a terrific day, and then we will continue with that nice stretch of weather as we work our way throughout the remainder of the week. The temperatures will come up just a smidge, but just a couple degrees above average of 84 degrees. So Saturday and Sunday, first weekend of August, and of course Friday, the first day of the Indiana State Fair, and the weather is going to cooperate for opening weekend. The humidity not super high this weekend either, so a very summer-like weekend heading our way, but great weather tomorrow. Meredith's going to feel terrific with the low humidity and that sunshine.
All right, love to hear it. Thanks, Todd. We now want to check in with our friends at Court TV.
Good afternoon, I'm Yorit Tewalde. The prosecution's case in Florida versus Grant Amato continued today with testimony from a firearms expert. The 30-year-old man is on trial for the shooting deaths of his parents and brother. On Monday, Grant Amato's friend testified he suspects the defendant stole his gun about 2 weeks before the murders in January. Blake Turpin says he kept the 9mm pistol in his bedroom closet but didn't report it missing until about a month before the trial.
Why the delay?
I hadn't had a reason to go touch that gun. I have one that I use as a concealed carry. The rest are either one I don't like to shoot, or like the Jericho was kind of one I consider just a range gun. And honestly, I mean, my friend was killed in January with his parents, and I had no reason to touch my guns.
Another of the defendant's friends testified that Amato ran up his credit card with an unauthorized charge so he could communicate with a Bulgarian webcam model. Grant Amato is also accused of stealing money from his family to fund his obsession. He faces the death penalty if convicted. That's the latest for now. Court TV will keep following all developments in this trial. Now back to you.
You can learn more about other cases around the nation right now at courttv.com. When we come back, it's time for our Pet of the Week. This is Sal, a playful little guy. He has a big personality, so you're going to want to check him out. That's after the break when we get back.
My migraines. I am Kelly.
All right, Colleen Walker from the Indy Humane Society is with us with our Pet of the Week, and today we have Sal. He is 3 years old, and Colleen, he has a big personality.
He really does. He loves playing with toys, hanging out with humans, and as you might be able to hear soon, he's part pig. So,
Here, Sal, here. And he's short and stocky. He's built like a tree trunk here. So he has a big personality. He said he needs to go to a home, though, because of that big personality, with no other pets, whether that's cat or dogs. He just needs to be by himself and take all the love you have to give him.
absolutely. He needs all the attention to himself.
All right, and so he is available right away for $100. He would make a great companion going on walks. He has a lot of energy as well. And look at that cute little face. He's checking himself out in the camera right now, and he's like, I look pretty good. And he looks looking for just as good of a good-looking home to go to. So he will be available at the Humane Society as soon as Colleen gets back, which will be in about half hour, 45 minutes. If you'd like to add a Sal, and he likes to take a snooze too.
Yeah.
Look at that. All right, let's take a look at your 7-day planning forecast really quickly here as we wrap things up. Not bad this afternoon. A few isolated downpours will be possible this afternoon to the south and east. No severe weather. That's the good news. Tomorrow morning, 50s and 60s. Low humidity. Great start to your Wednesday. Beautiful day as a whole. 82 with sunshine. And then we keep the sunshine around Meredith all the way into the weekend.
All right, Todd. Thank you. And thank you for joining us. We hope you have a great rest of your afternoon, but make sure you join us back here at 5.